He continues to T-pose. Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons. This is a whirligig. Those are our friends. That's a hot air balloon. This is Midday Gardens. And I'm Tessellating Hexagons in Midday Gardens playing some Spyro Year of the Dragon. And in this episode we're going to finish what we started. Except we've not actually been to Enchanted Towers before, but you'd be mistaken for thinking, you'd be forgiven for being mistaken into thinking otherwise. It's got the same music as Sergeant Bird's bass is the point I'm trying to drive home here. I don't know why, also I don't really know what the residents here are supposed to be, so...
Those crummy Rhinox forced us to build a statue of the sorceress. Then after we built it, she complained it was too ugly. If you ask me, the statue is much prettier than she is.
Don't know why the text takes forever to scroll, but yeah. Unless I'm misremembering, because I can't actually hear the music at the moment, but yeah. Also, the theme here is construction Rhinox. I think I've always headcanoned that the local residents are, like, magicians somehow. Like, there is a world later on in the game where the residents are explicitly stated to be magicians, so I'm not quite sure why I feel like they're magicians here as well, it's just the towers are enchanted. There are beasts. We have an easier way of dealing with those later, but we can also deal with them now should we so choose. I'm going to kill a sleeping one, because I have no mercy, apparently. Just have a care. They have a care there. I'm trying to make a sort of joke out of, ooh, they fly and cause chaos. Have a care. But yeah, I love that sort of crappy animation of them just kind of, oh no, you hit me, I'm going to spiral into nothing. So, also... a very Spyro 1-esque enemy there. Just, I'm gonna be big and slam, and welcome to Japan. But yeah, this level has always confused me because I like its aesthetic, it's just, what is its aesthetic? We've got pink people with ponytails with, like, really masculine voices compared to what you might expect, because, like, if you saw one of the locals from a distance, you'd be like, oh, clearly there's gonna be, if not outright female, then feminine, because, oh, ponytails and pink, and that the level defies all of your stereotyping ass expectations and sneeze! Merry sneeze, Gladys. I don't know, I appreciate that. It's, like, as someone who has hair long enough to ponytail, even though I rarely do, because, like, I only put my hair in a ponytail when I'm, like, preparing for, like, well, say a business meeting, or, like, a job interview or whatever. Like, if it's a formal occasion, I'll tie my hair back, but I don't like it, but as someone who has long hair but is also male, I appreciate it. Also, at some point, I could swear there's, like, a side bit, like, there's that there, there's a ledge, I don't know if it's of any use. Now, before I sidetrack myself too far, the whole thing with this level having Sergeant Bird's theme playing, because I think I can hear it and I think it is. There are a lot of levels in this game, well, maybe not a lot, there's a substantial number anyway, that have, like, can we glide to that? I'm gonna try, it's gonna end poorly, we can't do it, I'm sorry I tried. So yeah, there are a lot of levels in this game that share their music with other levels, and they weren't intended to, as is proven by the greatest hits version of the game, where, like, there are a load of levels that get music, like with the speedways, for example. That's the example we've seen so far. Also, that sound effect of the statue being destroyed by the rockets that we're firing, which is what we're doing, by the way, there is at least one version of the game where that is insanely loud compared to everything else. Like, you'll launch a rocket and then forget about it, and then suddenly, boom, like, right in your ears, and it's just terrifying if you're not expecting it. So, we'll sit back and watch this one. Wow. Well, not yet decapitated statue, thick with 2 C's. Now thick with no C's. It's just thin. But yeah, this, out of all the levels that have music in common with other levels, this is one of the few where this is its intended theme. It is supposed to have the same music as Sergeant Bird because they don't change it at any point, which I find strange. Hello.
The world breathlessly awaits my brilliant 4-dimensional masterpiece. Just light all the rockets and prepare to be amazed by my genius.
Oh, they're artists, I get it now. I'm gonna stand back and watch the display. But the whole talk of music does become more relevant later in this level.
Oops! I forgot I hid this egg inside the statue. I hope the explosion didn't hard-boil it.
What is it with this game and exploding things next to eggs? Peanut. That's a vegetable. No, Tess, no it isn't. There are a lot of things it is, and that's not one of them. So, this level has the same music as Sergeant Bird's Base. There are other levels that aren't supposed to. Like, almost all of the levels in Sunrise Spring have their music in common with at least one other level, and that was never the intention because, like, if you play the greatest hits version of the game instead, then you'll hear what music each level is supposed to have, and a lot of those tracks are present on the disc. They just didn't code it properly because they rushed this game so they could release it in time for the actual Year of the Dragon. Because that's when they released it. It was, I think the year 2000 was a year of the... It was all for the sake of a terrible joke, and they rushed it, and that's why it's sort of glitchy. And there is a track elsewhere in this level that is different in the Greatest Hits release, but it's not the main theme. So out of all the levels that share music, this is the only one that was ever supposed to. Also, by the way, haven't addressed the elephant in the room, but we just defeated a lava toad who was holding a bone. Where have we seen that before? Could it possibly be a reference? That was surprisingly neocortex of me, which sounds like a part of the brain if you're not familiar with Crash Bandicoot. It's just, I'm watching a lot of YouTube poops lately, and they keep using stuff from Twin Sanity, which is a game I don't intend to Let's Play, much to the chagrin of people who want me to Let's Play it, but it's not, it's another game that was rushed, and so it could have been great, and it just isn't. Now, I want to go through that portal, because, yeah, I'm going to go through here. I know there's a vase. We'll come back for the vase. We'll come back for everything else. But there's this, and I love this side mission, and there's more gems, and there's a garage, as Americans pronounce it, because they're trying to be fancy and failing. Friend Sir Pants.
I was playing catch with my pet wolf Farley, but I accidentally threw his ball down this hole, and he went in after it. Now he's stuck down there. I feel so helpless, sitting up here, listening to his steadily softening whimpers. Don't cry, wolf. Never cry, wolf.
It's a reference, because Moet and cry wolf. It's a literature joke that I get it, but I don't get enough of it to fully understand. And it's such a cute little pupper. And now I have the ball. Will you follow me, or do I have to spit it out for you to follow me? I don't remember. But this is a very fun mission, because you just need to, like, the wolf retrieve ball and get Papa to stand on switch and use switch to press switch. I could have shown what I just did, but I think I demonstrated it fairly well. So this switch, right, you stand on it and, well, apply pressure to it, it makes those platforms rise, but it only works for as long as there's pressure on it, so use Puppy's ball to make Puppy stand on switch. It's easy and it's fun, and it's just also cute that the Rhinox are afraid of this cute little pupper. So precious. And that's why I love this side bit. Partly because I'm furry trash, but also just because it's so cute! And I love cute things. This one's not scared because Farley is just there like, please sir, play with my ball so that I can chase ball. So, this is a bit of a different puzzle. You actually need to stand on this yourself, because otherwise Wolf Papa cannot get across gap. Because otherwise you could put the ball there, and he just looked at it like, what? I got chase after that. It didn't land on the... I can just do it from down here then. Yeah, if you leave the ball there as it currently is, then Wolf is like, well, I can't jump that wide. So this time we have to be the ones who stand on the pressure switch, because we don't need that, we can just glide over. And the fact that you can glide over that gap should be your clue that you need to stand on the switch and not other. And in this instance, we need to be on the thing that's affected by the switch before the switch is activated, because otherwise it'll rise up too high for us to stand on, and that would defeat the entire purpose. It's really... I missed a step in the process. That means that I need to stand on this, then. Now I have become the pressure switch. I forgot about this part. Such a clever-ass game. So put that there, and then... Wait. He balk when he cannot access. Is cute. Hey, I did wonder if that would be close enough, and turns out that, yes, Puppy was close enough to Ball. And Ball was close enough to Switch, and we solved the puzzle, and I'm commentating terribly. Now, it's less warm today. Like, it's easier to exist today. But it's still too hot to sort of commentate fluidly. Such a precious pupper. Like, I'm not a dog person at all, but precious pupper still. Boom. Why would you leave your ball behind like that, sir? Ow. I would say animal abuse, but... He all by himself. Oh, he's such a cute puppa. Take your ball, sir.
Hey, you found Farley! How can I ever thank you? I mean, I could give you this old egg, but Farley's been chewing on it, and it's kinda slimy. Oh well, it's the thought that counts, right?
So yeah, I am not and will never be a dog person.
But it's so cute, though.
Just reminds me of, I believe it was my birthday last year, because usually, on my birthday, we travel over to Brighton, which is like a 2-hour drive away, and it's been an annual tradition. I think this might be the first year in a while that we don't go, and I did promise I'd address this vase, so there we go, 5 gems. And we saw this Shiba Inu there, and my mother was just sort of fixated on it because, like, oh, she wants to get a Shiba Inu. Like, mother, they scream, they're very high maintenance. Also, we have a Sergeant Bird thing. What could possibly be on the other side?
I'm ready to patrol the towers and the perimeter of the islands whenever you want me to. It's good to be back in action!
So, really unique gimmick. It's the same level. You can just swap out. You could be a different character in the same level. That's why I've been ignoring these monster beef toads. The steroid children. God damn it, auto-aim. Killing the 2 enemies correctly, but just in the opposite order that I ordained. But yeah, we went to Brighton. We saw a Shiba Inu. My mother wanted to take... Well, not steal that particular dog, but just use that as a reason to, like, hey, look, we should get a Shiba Inu. And I'm like, mother, no. And the reason why I remember this so vividly is that the dog was, like... It was a warm day, and the dog was, like, spread out and had no shame about displaying its... Well, very obviously his dog meat penis. The punchline is penis. And his name was Chi, because his owner was like, well, hey, it's Japanese doggo, Japanese name. Also, those doors, we can't go into Spyro side areas because we're not playing as Spyro. It's just, I find it funny that the doors blocking off the area that we just were when we were doing the Farley mission, those just have some flavor of pop-in to them. Like, those doors aren't there until they load in. If you get too close, then it's like, hang on a minute, you're a bird, you can't come in here. There's a wolf in here, he will eat your face. Hello, sir, I remember you.
You're doing great. Please find the rest of the bones so we can put my friend back together.
I'm aware that I'm rambling. I thought this would be a good episode because the weather isn't as trombulous as it was before, but it turns out I'm just terrible at commentating. It is satisfying to dispose of all of these death children, though. That said, rather worried that they're not giving me gems, because, like, you're supposed to give me gems. Oh. Just took forever to die, apparently. It's like, they don't die unless you're looking at them. Well, at least that concern was addressed. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're taking forever to die. That's something I've never encountered before. Maybe it's a North American thing, maybe it's a this only happens if you pay attention thing, maybe it's something that I've never noticed because it's something that I've chosen to overlook as a child, because this game is flawless and perfect and has no glitches except for all the glitches I've shown. I don't know what I'm even saying at this point. However, I should address, we did hear some music in the Farley area that isn't, like, it's different from music we're hearing now. And I did say that there is a side area of this level that has music that's different and stuff. I can't word it concisely because I can't think, but the pieces are there. Well, that's the music that I had in mind when I was talking about different themes earlier. That is, in fact, the intended theme music of a level from not the next homeworld, but the homeworld after. And we're not going to be hearing that for quite a while. And it isn't supposed to play here, there's supposed to be a different theme here. I'm not sure if the Farley area is supposed to have, like, the music that's playing now, but there is an area that we're going to be going to shortly that will also play that same music, and in that other side area, it's supposed to be a different theme. Like, there is a track of music that's just not present, well, it's present on the CD, it's just not coded into the game. That, I'll point out when we get to it. I'm trying to speak in veiled terms so as not to spoil something that you will be spoiled on by the end of this video, because that's just how I operate, apparently. Come on, auto-aim, do some of my work for me. Now, I'm trying to work out, is there anywhere else? Because that's one thing, and I don't know if I ever addressed it, but I am aware that in Spyro 2, there are maps available for each level. Like, you can go into the options menu and bring up a map. And I don't believe that's in this game. so that doesn't really help flavors. I'm just gonna bumble around until I find what I'm looking for, but I keep picking up gems, so that means that I'm going to places that I've not yet been, which means that if I were to cut, then we would have a bad time, because as it is, I do feel bad about the previous episode and how, like, in my various attempts to try and achieve the end of bombing the eggs, like, there were some gems that I got, like, it was like 1 or 2, but still. I think there were some that I didn't show me getting on screen just because they were in my failed attempts, and I think it's because I never left that side area. I think it's obvious that if you're using this as a walkthrough for some ungodly reason, it's obvious where those gems are. Just bumble around in the Sheila area of Spooky Swamp until you find them. Everything else was shown on screen. You can tell by process of elimination.
Here, have this. I was going to keep it as a souvenir, but I don't have room in my luggage.
Implying I don't even know. You need to have a passport to come to the Forgotten Realms? I know, airport security's a nightmare, Ralph.
My friend is feeling much better now. Oh no! He started his bone dance again!
Haha, references. Did they have to pay like a import duty on bringing this reference over from Avalar? Well, something that I didn't appreciate as much as a child, but just the fact that they bothered to bring this back in for this, well, maybe it's because they took all the time to program this dance sequence in and have like a character model that could do all this and the music and stuff. They had the data left over, so they thought, fuck it, we'll put it in the sequel as well. We took the time to make it, and this is to Gateway to Glimmer as Majora's Mask is to Ocarina of Time. We're going to reuse all the assets, so we're going to reuse the dance. It would be a waste not to. That was a series of thoughts brought to you by me. And you have nothing but... If you talk to him again, then he will just dance again. Also, 69 eggs. Bring your own punchline. Now, I saw there was a flying, muscular meat hood of a toad. I don't know if they're actually meant to be... I don't know what they're meant to be. They're very iconic. Like, those enemies are just the face of Enchanted Towers, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know what they are. But that's never bothered me before. So, at some point we'll need to come back and break that open, but we do have another mission to do. I'm just wondering if there are any gems left unspoken for. Now, you can, if you so desire, go into the exit portal as Sergeant Bird. It'll just... It'd be no different from going through the exit portal in Sergeant Bird's base. You just get dumped out in Midday Gardens back as Spyro. You can't cheat the game into having the wrong character in the wrong place. Like, this game has glitches and stuff.
I'll be here when you need me.
Like, this game has glitches and clips and fucking swimming in the air, but it doesn't have wrong warping, as far as I know. I feel so good. Like, that's one thing that I do love about this particular Let's Play. All the shit I'm coming out with in explaining, like, that the history of the game and the glitches you can do and all of that crap, like, it makes me feel so smart and valid and relevant and beautiful. Because for all the summertime ramblings that I do when I'm too hot to think properly, I can bust out all of this vocabulary like, ah, yes, wrong warping and glitch and the head bash apocalypse and... I'm just proud of myself, okay? It makes me feel like I can contribute a valid part to society, you know? Have you ever been? Now, down here is a thing that we were well, I don't remember if I said be prepared for it, but it's a thing, and it's supposed to have different music from what it actually has, so... It's a giant fucking skate park, because of course it is! I really don't get it. Now, strictly speaking... the bonus, like, there's a skill point in Sunny Villa for getting a load of points for doing tricks on the skateboard, and officially, at that point in the game, you're not supposed to know how those tricks work. Like, you're not supposed to know that you can press the triangle in mid-air to do shit like that. The tutorial for that is actually here. Also, Spyro's going a lot faster than anticipated. Because what I want to do is like a sweep of the area just to grab these gems. Easier said than done. As it is, I've missed the basket up here, because what's going to happen is, first of all, Hunter will give us a tutorial on how to do tricks on the skateboard, and once we pass that, he'll challenge us to like a fancy skateboard get points off, and there's an egg for that as well, so I just want to... Okay, that was fancy. I don't care that I crashed, that was fancy. So, it's good to get a feel for the general layout of the area, and also That's not easy to stop on with a skateboard, but then again, I don't think that's really the point. It's just good to get used to the layout of the area, and to get the gems now, because obviously we're going to be full of faff, foof, foof when we're trying to compete with him. So, get used to it, and have a peach. Just have a peach. Just have a peach! Am I awful? Am I watchable? Of course, it is easier to an extent if you get off the skateboard eventually. Just... whatever. That was technically a high-class trick that I did, all in my attempts to just get Spyro to slow the fuck down. Because there are some gems that you can get by, like, skateboarding to them. Like, it's difficult to get up there. I think it can be done if you do a charge jump just right, which I've already said. I can't. But there are some where you need to skateboard to them. Like, there are some jars suspended in the air that you sort of need to jump to, and this is one of them, and there we go. Just consider it practice. And I'm hoping that we got all the gems outside, so we don't need to worry about, hopefully, what I'm trying to say is once we get all the gems in here, like that one, it'll actually come up on screen and say, hey, you got all the gems in Enchanted Towers. I don't have faith that that'll happen. Hey, oh. Well, that's one of them. Get off the things that I could at least break this basket. Yes, good. I think there's just that jar on top of the towers, which we can... I've stalled enough. Let's just do the thing.
Isn't this the wildest skateboard park you've ever seen? Once you've mastered a few tricks, you can score huge points in this place. What do you say I show you some moves? Let's start with something easy. You can jump off the end of ramps by pressing the X button. I'll show you how to do it once. Then it's your turn.
Hunter skateboarding has some of the stiffest animation I've ever seen, and it's just adorable. Like, that's bad enough, but just wait till you see just when he starts doing tricks, it's just terrible.
Okay, now try doing a roll. You can roll in midair by holding down the triangle button and steering left to right.
Now, in the same way that Majora's Mask has amongst the best swimming controls in any game ever, as does this game as well, to be fair, this, like, the whole skateboard thing actually does feel very fluid and natural.
Hey, nice roll! Now let's see you pull a flip. Flips are exactly like rolls, only you push up or down instead of left or right. Just jump off the ramp, hold down the triangle button, and push up or down on the directional pad.
Like, maybe it's because I've had years to get used to this and it just comes to me so naturally, but it feels very, like, natural and proper, and this is how skateboards should control.
Whoa, you must be a natural. Now let's see if you can pull off a half-pipe spin move. The blue ramps are half-pipes. You can do a spin move by jumping at the top of the blue ramp, then steering left or right in the air.
He's exposing all the secrets that I used against the lizard things in the gem lizards in Sunny Villa. But yeah, it's straightforward, it makes sense, and I've never played any of the Tony Hawk games, so this is my go-to for skateboarding games.
All right, you nailed it. Now let's see if you can do a 900. Get as much height as you can, spin 2.5 revolutions in the air, and land back on the ramp.
This is all the experience I've ever had of skateboarding. I used to own a skateboard, though, and it had 7 wheels, 2 at the back, 5 at the front. And like they were arranged in like an arch, and it was supposed to be to make steering easier, but it made balancing harder in exchange.
Now that was a 900! I have to admit, you've got some skills, Spyro. But before you get too cocky, let's see if you can score some real points on that giant ski ramp. Do whatever moves you want, and see how many points you can get.
There are certain, like, combos and stuff that you can string together that are worth bonus points. So if you spin and roll at the same time, so do forwards and sideways. If you do them in assorted directions, apparently that wasn't good enough. Huh. There we go.
Wow, you learn really fast! Then again, you are being trained by a master boarder. Speaking of which, I was just practicing a nearly impossible new move that I call the Nasty Nork. I had almost pulled it off when I suddenly ran smack into this dragon egg and wiped out. Okay, I made that up, but you can have this egg.
He's a master boarder. But yeah, Nasty Nork. If you do like front sideways or back sideways rolls and twisty things, then combinations of those are named after bosses from the first and possibly second game, I don't remember.
I'm thinking you're ready to try some one-on-one competition. Want to try a freestyle competition for points?
And I believe there's an egg at stake, so yes, let's do this.
All right, whoever scores the most points in the time limit wins.
So yeah, we have 2 minutes. We should do our damnedest to good. I believe you can run into each other, and also points, like the points for doing these tricks decreases over time. So if you do a left spin and then like execute it successfully and then land it, then that's worth however many points. But if you do it again, it's worth half, and it just keeps going down. So you need to like have a shit ton of variety. Now this is, I believe, the best ramp for doing those combo things. So okay, that was only worth 900, but whatever. I can deal. I can cleave. I forget how you get to the triple towers now, which is a shame because there are gems up there that we need, and he's really racking up the points. I am out of practice at this. There are some combos you can do, like if you do like twisted lime and then like a twisted lemon like off the back of it or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. Then those are the ones named after the previous bosses. You see, look how the point values go down. So I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh, it's over. That's where the towers are. Okay, that sure did just happen. Don't know where all that air came from. Okay, we got a big gulp. I think that's like an American beverage. That wasn't meant to happen. Or whatever. I feel like I should speed this up if I don't succeed. There you go. If you do spins just right, then they're named after the Spyro 2 bosses. If I don't get the necessary score here, then... Ah, there we go, we got a triple. If I don't get the necessary score, then I'll... That was cool. Then I'll speed up. But I don't think so, because we did good.
I can't believe it. How did you get so good already? Who knows, someday you might even break my course record. Nah. Anyway, I guess I should give you this other egg I found. I was going to keep it for a pet, but I can't get it to hatch.
What? Hang on. As a child, that never hit me, but Spyro's a dragon, and you're telling him, I'm gonna keep one of your species as a pet. Fart joke. Yeah. So yes, there is a skill point for getting Hunter's course record within the time, which I don't remember what that is. I actually need to keep the board up here. I just want to get onto the triple towers. If I will come back and try to do the skill point at some point. That will be in the same video as when I do the same thing in Sunny Villa. But in that case, and for the endslate of this episode as well, I will have the music that's supposed to play in this area, because it has its own theme music, because this is the music of a later level that's not supposed to play here yet. So anyway, I forget what the course record is, but we'll come back for it another time. And same goes for Sunny Villa. I want to get those skill points, I know I can. The skateboarding minigame is fun. I was out of practice, but this episode has gone on for long enough as it is, so we'll head back to Midday Gardens, and well, I keep saying Sunrise Springs and Midday Gardens, but they're both singular. Spring and garden. I'm aware of this. Anyway, in the next episode, we will go and fight the boss of Midday Garden, which fucking sucks. I'm not looking forward to it, but hey friend, take me there.
Hey now! Let's head on over to the Worldly gig.
Oh, do let's. I'm not looking forward to this. So in the next episode, we'll ride that and suffer accordingly. See you then for that.